What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? So today, boys and girls, I am going to take a photo. Come on. There you go. I love summer. Today, I'm looking to go take a photo of me in a parking garage. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done a vlog. It's been kind of crappy weather. It's been a lot worse than this. It's been raining for the past week. I think the last vlog I put up was 2 weeks ago. The last vlog I filmed was about a week, two weeks ago? Yeah. So it's been a little bit, and yeah, I know I should be more consistent and all that kind of stuff, but it's hard, especially when you have a job and a girlfriend and a family that you have to go see and all that kind of stuff a lot, which it's just basically like you have things to do. You have other priorities. But I've got a lot on my plate, especially I'm trying to go to college again, which is not fun, but it is what it is. God, I'm getting a lot of wind underneath the chin. So, sorry if the video is looking all wonky and stuff. Actually, you guys are pointed in a decent direction, I think. It's photographically pretty out today, but actually it's overcast, a little dreary. It's warm, but it's windy. I am starving too. Like, I haven't been eating so well for the past week, so I'm kind of been like bleh, but do what I can. Hey, another set of bikes. Or another set of bikers, I guess. Guy and his wife. How about that? I don't know why I'm waving my hand on the other side of my face so you guys can't see it. So I'm like, yeah, and you guys are like, cool, I don't know if you're making a gesture or not, but I am. And, so yeah, I've been doing that for a bit. There is a parking garage. I think we might have found one that we could use. Oh, I could shoot this way. That'll be great. Might make it look like a sunset. Might not. And for all you people out there that are like, real photographers don't Photoshop. That's bullshit. That is so much bullshit. Everybody uses another sort of post-processing. Everybody does. Even photographers that use film. It's called a darkroom. Oh, thanks for not running me over, Lexus. Trespassing employees. Fuck you. I need another parking garage. Where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna go? Where's one? I need another garage. Please only skateboarding, bike lane, or bicycling. God damn it! This is kind of weird. Hey, there's me. Hey. Yep, I'm waving. Gates are just open though. Oop. I love hopping those. I had come home and I rode in the Texas wet, and it was my first time riding in a hurricane, a really, really bad pre-tornado storm. So I basically I went to the gym, and then as I was walking out of the gym, I had my helmet in my hand and stuff, and as my helmet's in my hands, I'm looking up, and some guy's like, man, I do not want to be you right now. And I'm like, what kind of thing? Like, thanks, asshole. And the guy says, no, look outside. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I look outside, and the guy's right. It is just pouring. It's just buckets and buckets and buckets of rain. And the wind is just bad. Like, it's to a point where if you're standing there as just a normal person, it will actually knock you on your ass to a certain degree. Like it's hard to stand up. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm not too far from home. I'll make it home. It'll be fine. And I'm on my way home, and then all of a sudden the rain becomes like piercing sharp, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Turns out it's hail. And then like it gets harder, like it hurts more, kind of thing. And I'm looking over, and I'm looking around, and all I'm seeing is like the rain hitting the ground, and then I start to see hailstones that are like pebble sized, like they're a little bigger than normal hail. Like I'm used to hail being kind of like tiny pebbles, but these are more like small stones. This looks like a parking garage that I might be able to use. Oh yeah, the Legacy Town Center. How about that? Yeah. No bicycles. That's great. None of that either. Looks like an ambulance. So, as I'm doing that, what is it? I'm going to just pull over. So there's the wash of a building, so I kind of pull over, and the wash of the building is like really, really great for what I'm doing, because wind's coming over it and just missing me. Sorry, wind's coming over the building and missing me. And I'm like, okay, this is fine, this is fine. And as I'm getting, like, as I get there, like, it's just miserable. I'm still getting hit with water, but the wind is like kind of helping me out because it's creating a spot or a void for me to sit in. I feel like I'm gonna hit one of these if I'm upright. But as I'm doing this, the wind is just so damn bad, it's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, I'm wringing out my Thor gloves. The gloves that I'm wearing right now were just soaked, and by the time I wring them out, I could wring them out again. Like, I could just squeeze my hand and probably pull like half a pint of water out of my hand. So I wind up like going further into the storm, and I basically chased the hail the entire way home. By the time I got home, I just peeled off my clothing in the bathtub. Like, it was so bad. It was so ridiculously bad, I didn't know what to do. I was so upset at the time that I didn't bring like pants or anything like that, but it was a good experience because now I know how it is to ride in Texas rain. There we go. And that's kind of nice. Yeah, maybe that in the background or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was fun but miserable at the same time. And when you do stuff like that, that's just kind of how it works. Like, every time I've ridden in the rain, it's just been absolutely god-awful. I rode my race suit once when I had the CBR, and that was fun, but that was fun now, but at the time it wasn't rainbows and kittens. It was crappy, to say the least. But yeah, which brings me to another point, the bike. So here she is. As you can tell, I've still got mud on it from when I rode when I almost got stuck in that crappy little area. Mud's all dried out now. I re-lube my chain because that's what you should do after every time you ride in the rain. You can tell there's some mud on the front too. So yeah, it is not a stock one. Taillight, aftermarket taillight. It's kind of an aftermarket taillight. The rear end is actually the same rear end for a DR650 as for a 2 and 3 or 350 and 200 or a 350. There's a smaller version of this. That's what that light is off of, because usually they have this giant square thing that comes off the back and projects backwards, and it just sucks. Aftermarket handguards, because DRs don't really come with them. Well, I think they do, but they're shitty ones. When I got this thing, it didn't have any. MSR bars came with it, and that was it. Some crappy grips were on it too. I think I need some new grips, but they're doing okay for me. One mirror came with it. Steel braided brake line came with it, but I kind of want a new one just because of the fact that this one's starting to rust out. The gas tank is also aftermarket. It's not the regular gas tank on these. The gas tank on a regular one is like 2 gallons or 2.5 gallons or something like that. This is the 3.4 gallon tank, so I can actually get around 150 miles really and do it, which is great. But it's still plastic, so if I wind up dropping this thing and it scrapes on the ground, it probably punched a hole in it. Axle sliders. These are actual axle sliders too. They're made from skateboard wheels, which, don't get me wrong, skateboard wheels are actually kind of the right plastic to use, but the good plastic you should be using is not the same plastic as what comes on a skateboard. That's kind of weird. It looks like my carburetor's leaking, but it's not. I don't like the look of that. I'm gonna have to clean that one of these days. Shock's still stock. A lot of the bike is still stock. The wheels actually came with the bike, but it's just a set of Warp 9s. When you get them in the mail, you lace them up, you true them, which is just hours and hours and hours on or in front of a movie, spinning the damn thing. So it's true, and then you can either balance the wheels by yourself the same way. I mean, you just rotate a section of the wheel to the top, and whatever falls at the bottom, make a mark, rotate at the top. You know that's the heavy spot in the wheel. Put a weight on it. It still falls to the bottom. Put a heavier weight on it. Still falls to the bottom. Same story. You balance it from there. I remove the upper chain roller because those things have a nasty habit of snapping. The rear end on a DR is very, very soft. I'm not pushing hard at all, and they tend to break off and then leave a hole in the frame, so the frame fills up with water, it gets rusty, no fun. So I removed that. I actually need to put a bolt in it. No, there is a bolt in it, never mind. Which is great. I killed the safety switch on the, I think it was actually the clutch. Yeah, it's clutch. No, it might be this. I think it's this. I killed one of the safety switches. There's one in the kickstand and there's one in the clutch. The kickstand has a nasty habit. If you're going over bumps, since it separates from the switch enough, it'll kill the bike while in mid-ride. So a lot of people just disconnect that, jump it, so it thinks it's always up. Which isn't really good. I mean, you can still have the potential of the kickstand fall down, but it's just whatever it is. Lubed it a bit ago too, so it comes up all nice and smooth. What else? The black frame originally was purple, and you can actually see old pictures of that on my Facebook, or just online. If you go to my my old photography site on Fine Art America, I think it's the only one that's up. It's actually this bike. Well, of course it's actually this bike. I mean, it's actually me doing everything to it. The FMF system on it is a full system. It's kind of nice. Power bomb header, FMF Q4 power core. It's nice. Actually, it's just, sorry, a power core 4. Sorry, been out of the whole selling exhaust game and all that kind of stuff for a long time. But yeah, I stripped all the plastic parts off and all that kind of stuff, stuffed newspaper into places around the engine and all that kind of stuff, and sprayed the frame with matte black primer and high temp as well. So it actually has done really well with holding up to the weather. What it hasn't done well with is stuff like my jeans and where my boots and all that kind of stuff make contact. It's rubbed off there, and that's really the only spots. Up here is where I replaced the steering stem bearings, and it wound up being when I set the handlebar here, it scratched a little bit off. So I need to repaint that, but I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, who cares? The Vapor is nice, except for the fact that it doesn't really keep mileage. I think I gotta mess with it and all that kind of stuff. I think the battery in it's dead. That's why. Aftermarket turn signals. I had some other ones that came with the bike, but they had no bulbs in them, so I just bought new turn signals for $20. The Cargo Net. I really recommend these to anybody. They're like 20 bucks or 10 bucks or 15 or something like that, around 20-ish. They're nice because you can fit anything in it. If you have like me, I'm gonna go buy a sandwich after this. You just throw it underneath the cargo net and it holds it, or a 6-rack of beer, or I think it'll actually hold a 12 case, but you gotta sheniggle it and stretch it enough, which is nice. Helmet lock is still on here. Suspension mods, there's actually dampers in the forks. So the fork tubes themselves don't have a valve, but you can buy an aftermarket valve from ProCycle and actually shove it in the fork. I redid the seals not too long ago. I'm thinking I might redo them again, because shit happens. Especially if you get a lot of dirt and stuff in there, it wears out the seal super fast, and I don't want it to start weeping. The brake kit, you actually have to buy an oversized rotor for these wheels. I bent my last one because I was in a slight altercation with some construction. There was a cone that got thrown up by a house driving by. Some people were transporting half a house, and the wash from the truck, the wind picked up a cone, threw it out in the road, and I was already at the farthest point I could possibly be, and it came around, hit the front rotor at the base, or with the base of the cone, it hit the front rotor, bent the front rotor, flipped back, and broke my front left toe. Little Cowie 650. It's borderline got the same engine. But other than that, oh, and also there's spacers in this. Normally there's metal spacers for the dampening for the rod or the springs. I replaced those with PVC because they hold up. They hold up for like 5-6 years or something like that. And then you have to replace them, but I checked them last time. That was fine. Aftermarket front fender. That's really about it. I also put a GPS chip in it, so if you steal it, I know where it goes. Yeah. That's really about it. There have been a few times where I've actually checked on it and it's moving, and I have come running out of the place like a bar or a restaurant and wondered who the hell was moving it, and it turns out it's like a valet or somebody, or it's still, even then, you shouldn't fucking move somebody's vehicle without their consent. Oh, and also, Moose Racing seat cover. It came with this ugly purple and gold seat cover. This is a 98, so if you look up the purple and gold 98, that's what this was. And it had Suzuki stamped on the back of it, which is like meh to me. But the front, like the sides, like here-ish, it was gold, and then the rest was like purple, like Joker purple, and it was just bad. It was just an awkward thing. Things I don't like about the bike. I don't like that the forks are not inverted, but that's kind of like personal preference at this point because I'm not good enough to ride a moto fast. I don't really notice it. Anything else about it? I don't like how the chain adjustment works because it's very clunky. And especially switching to a moto is kind of like, I still need to figure out what the proper slack for it is. I'm still doing the 3-finger rule. In the middle, you put your 3 fingers. If you can fit your 3 fingers in there snug, you're okay. If not, it's either too tight or too loose. But it is what it is. And I actually need to figure out, because my sprocket's still okay. I still have the top of the teeth. No drive direction, no pull, no nothing. That's good. That's how it should be. But for some reason, it's not, like, it's just not with me. Like, I feel like it could be better for some reason. It's also massively dirty right now, and now that I'm sitting closer to it, I'm like, yeah, I rode in the rain the one time, and it, like, of course, everything just gets filthy. Just filthy. I need to buy some Suzuki wash and just let it sit. But, yeah, pegs are still stock. I think I might get aftermarket pegs. Oh, also, Sudco carb. It is a Mikuni carb. Sudco is a company that sells carb parts. You can actually buy this carb on ProCycle, and it's like a race carb. It's got heavier jetting and all that kind of stuff in it. I would like to replace it for the stock one and go up from there because that's more gentle, I guess. Because this is great wide open, but it kind of sucks when you're tooling around town. Originally, the guy wanted to make this a race moto, but I don't know why you'd choose a DR to make it a race moto. So, it's beyond me. But, yeah, also the airbox mod has been done to it. There's a bunch of holes punched out on the side, and the top has got a 5-inch hole in it. The top is pretty much non-existent. But, anything else? Had Distanzias. Don't want Distanzias because they're too fucking expensive. These were on sale. There were a couple Michelin Pilot Powers. Nah. I'm not racing the damn thing. Granted, they don't handle as well in the dirt, but it's fine. Yeah, that's all the modifications, so I think I'm not forgetting anything. Other than that, she's been a great bike. You could probably take it across the states 2 or 3 times before it like ran out of oil or died or something like that. I mean, single cylinders typically burn a little oil. It's just how they work. Same with V-twins. 4s, for some reason, don't. Hardly at all. Yeah, it's, she's been a good bike. She's only given me one problem, and that's it's a super weak battery, and that's really carburetor issues, because starting this thing is a, like, tricky process. You either flood it out super fast, or you just kind of waste your battery, because you're not giving it enough gas. It's weird. Like, if I were to start the bike right now and just not use the choke and start cranking, nothing. If I use the choke wide open, start cranking, I'll just flood it, like, immediately. And if I leave the valve on, it's not a vacuum petcock anymore, so it just kind of floods almost immediately. I also need to start buffing this. This is turning yellow again, but it is what it is. Either way, I'm going to take a photo. Thanks for stopping in. If you guys have any questions or want to build your own moto and all that kind of stuff, feel free to let me know. It's super easy to do. I've built motos for other people. It's simple. It really is. Like, there's not a lot to it. You buy your stuff, you lace up your stuff, you're really good to go. But either way, enjoy, you guys.